And welcome into Bedford High School on this beautiful Friday evening in Bedford, New Hampshire. 85 degrees today, if not higher. An unusual spring day, but a beautiful evening for lacrosse. My name is Corey Munster Tiger. We are bringing you the action on BCTV this evening. I'm joined in the booth this evening by Jay Abendroth, local high school parent, as well as former Syracuse lacrosse player. Jay, appreciate you joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me, Corey. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We are bringing you tonight's action as the Bedford High School Bulldogs will take on the Dover Green Wave. Both teams coming in with a 1-0 record early in the season here. Both teams victorious on Tuesday evening. The Bulldogs were able to handle Concord as they came to visit with a final score of 14-2 that evening. Some good offensive showing, good defensive showing, only letting up 2 goals on the near side. And then the Dover Green Wave, they were successful against Salem on Tuesday. They beat them 10-4 was the final. So 2 undefeated, again, very early in the season, but both 1-0 on the season. Should be a great game this evening. Teams now lining up at half field for the traditional handshake. And we'll get started in just a moment. Jay, what are you looking for tonight?
Both teams coming off of pretty good wins earlier in the week, and I think for me it's about being able to do the little things early in the season: passing, catching, clears, rides. Those are the things that'll give up goals or save goals that'll make the difference.
The little things often add up to big things. Passing and catching you almost think is a given, but early in the season sometimes it's not. We'll see if they can focus on the fundamentals as we get ready for the face-off. Ben Tower will be on the face-off for the Dover Green Wave. He'll face off against Dalton Roberto, the senior defensive midfielder and face-off guy for the Bulldogs. Roberto will come away with it. No possession called as it was checked out of his stick pretty quickly. Nice play to keep it in near side, though. And he'll scoop it up down into the offensive end to James Gaffney, and they'll settle things down and wait for offensive substitutes.
Choosing to go with the yellow balls today.
Yellow ball, yeah. I've asked goalies frequently, do they prefer white or yellow? And it really, honestly, is not consistent.
Yeah, just no greasers.
Right. Tough one there, a little over and back. That's almost like a backcourt violation in basketball. Once you touch it into the offensive box, you cannot go back over half field. It's used to prevent stalling and gets the offensive team to be more offensive focused. Jay talked about a greaser there. Occasionally the lacrosse ball will get old and it'll get a strange film all over that hard rubber ball, and it creates a strange consistency in your pocket, and when you try to throw it, it sails high because it's slippery. So that's why we call them a greaser in lacrosse. Ball thrown away there. Nice pick there as Brian Riccio stepped into the passing lane. Zach Griffin runs over the rider at midfield. Nice play. Disoriented there was Cody Dubois. And down, Kaliza now a little fake high, go low. Turns into a goal on that transition. Nice play. All set up there by Zach Griffin running over the riding player at midfield.
Yeah, very unselfish, fast break. Even got the long stick, Brian Riccio, in there for a real nice crease dish for the goal, the assist.
Well, assist by Riccio. Kuliza's the one that cashes on the doorstep, and the Bulldogs go up 1-0. Good action here early on. Sometimes you think they're taking all of the physical play out of lacrosse, but that right there, which was an appropriate no call, shows you that it still exists. It's great. So the Bulldogs go up with 10:38 to go here in the first quarter. They come away with the ensuing face-off. Roberto spins away from pressure. Now he'll settle things down. Dumps it off to Brody Helton.
And those face-offs, Corey, those wins are things that are going to really pay dividends for Bedford a little bit later in the game. Real good to see them starting off hot at the X.
Roberto has been a solid face-off guy for the Bulldogs for a couple years now. His older brother was also a face-off artist. Far side, Helton takes a rip, misses high and wide, backed up well by the Bedford attack. Kuliza's back there on the end line. Bulldogs in a 1-4-1. Two men on the crease. Seeing if they can pop off and get some open shots in tight. Purnell sees some space, stoned up high. Good save there by Dom Chalafour. Scramble in the far corner for the ground ball.
Bedford getting some good looks, though, early on here, Corey.
Sure are. Time and space. Hands free. They're able to rip some shots at the cage. Cooliza now will settle. Feed from behind. This is Master de Casa. Near side now to Colton Poole. Poole to Gaffney. Now far side. Helton gets the cutter from behind, and Cooliza's got a second of the day. Well done. Good vision by Helton, too, as he waited for the cutter coming from X, and Cooliza again cashes low.
Yeah, nice sneak around from the backside. It looks like Bedford's come out. They've got some set plays here and some rotation that's really confusing the defense.
Working a little wheel on that backside. We talked about that the last broadcast, just pulling defenders out of position, getting them to turn their head and away from the offensive players, and Cooliza with that backside cut's able to cash. 9:11 to go in the first quarter. The Bulldogs lead 2-0. Face off this time gave Dover the chance to win it, and then it's scooped up by Quentin McCormick, it looks like. Oh, that's 29 actually, not 28. I do not have a 29 on my roster, so I apologize to number 29. They said Riley. That might be Riley Joyce. We're going to go with that. With Riley Joyce, again, one man clear. Gets it up top to Luca Reedy. Now far side, this is Micah Crick. Looks to roll dodge. Little right-hand power cradle. Good job getting into the window there. I like that by Kerr. Good physical play on the ground ball ensuing. Talk about that window, Jay. What do you? Can you explain the window?
Sure. So if you think about carrying a lacrosse stick, you got your hands spread apart right in kind of the middle of your stomach. For a defender, you really want to be able to bother the offensive player by getting your stick in that window and really jar and loose the ball. It's so effective when you're trying to run hard on offense to have a stick in the middle of your cradle. It's a great way to jar the ball loose.
In that case, Kerr got that stick right in that window, lifted up, beautiful check, got the ball on the ground.
Fundamentals.
Yeah, legal procedure ensues as the Dover Green Wave did not touch it in time. Failure to advance is the turnover. So the Bulldogs will settle things down on their offensive end. Back up top, this is Bennett Matthews. Near side Toscano. His pass gets batted down in the middle by Luca Reedy. Scramble a little bit high of the crease. Yeah. Oh, we're going to go with Reddy, not Reedy. That's probably Reddy. Good pass into the middle. This is Luke Purnell. Dishes down low. Can't finish, though. That was Gaffney. And then gets beat out by the goalie. Nice hustle by the goalie, Dom Chalafour, getting all the way to the end line. We got a flag down. Oh, jeez, and they gave it to Bedford. Not sure what the flag is for. Did you see a penalty there?
I think they got a push on the goalie at the very end. I got to tell you, the Dover goalie, fantastic play, Dom Chalafour, not only with a quick reaction save, but hustling to the end line and getting that ball.
So it looks like the Bulldogs will be man down here. Gaffney is in the box feeling shame. They'll substitute on Luke Sy on the offensive end. He'll release the penalty, so I think it's a 30-second penalty, but given that the budgets are somewhat low in high school, we don't have the stadium announcement microphones on the referees, so we just have to interpret from here. Up top, Johnny Rand will start things off, gets it back to Luca Reddy. Micah Crick now, they're pressing out, getting on hands as Riccio is extending pressure. They spin it around backside. Cody Dubois. Excuse me, that's Logan Carter. Now coming from behind, great cut in the middle. Wow, fake. The ball was still in his stick. I don't think he realized it. That was Cody Dubois on that awkward play in the middle. And looks like somebody got wrapped up top around the neck. So the officials blow timeout. Make sure that player, I believe it's Toby DeRoche, make sure he's okay. He's going to walk to the sidelines. 6:39 to go here in the first quarter. The Bulldogs lead 2-0.
Tell you, they dodged a bullet there, Corey. The Dover attack had a on the doorstep look, and the ball got stuck in his stick. Very fortunate for the Bulldogs.
I think that was senior attacker number 31, Cody Dubois, and you're absolutely right. That was a nice play. Got it behind, right-handed feed into the middle to the cutter, and I believe it was Dubois that was right there. And yeah, it was either stuck in his stick or checked, and the ball just stayed there. He didn't realize the ball was still there. And the Bulldogs back on the offensive end after a pretty straightforward clear. Brody Helton dishes to Kevin Mastro de Casa. He directs traffic up the top. Colton Poole moves through. Cutter off the crease. Purnell, now they get it backside. Helton jacks it again. Can't get it on net.
Good movement, though. They're really getting the Dover defense on their heels and creating some open shots.
And it's just a quick pop off the crease, right? So the midi up top will drive righty. They'll get that pop off the crease and then move it around one more time. It's an effective way, especially against the zone defense that we're seeing here from Dover. We saw them explore a skip pass, too, on Tuesday evening against Concord. Again, drawing a defender, skipping it to the open guy who has some time and space. Helton there can't quite handle the pass, so there's a scramble. Purnell shoots. Nice save. Beautiful save by Dom Chalafour again. The junior goalie's been keeping the Dover Green Wave in this early. Couple good saves, good chase out on the end line. See him. Good stuff from number 4 between the pipes. Kuliza from behind. Mastro de Casa scoops up the ball quickly, now pulls it out. Gaffney backside. Helton finally finds the corner.
That's right. Third time's the charm.
There it is.
Yeah, it's really a pretty simple scheme. It's drive and then replace. But what it's doing is it's getting the defense having to rotate quickly. And that first pass they're covering, but that second pass on the backside is open, and it continues to be open. It's a really good play, and giving Brody Helton a lot of opportunities.
Puts that low side defender in a tough position, right? So if he pulls up from the crease, which he needs to do, he's going to need the fill again on the defensive side from the opposite side of the crease. That zone should be able to rotate through, but right now they're getting stuck in their positions. So that little wheel is working quite well and getting a lot of open shots for the Bulldogs. Back to the face-off. This time Roberto pops forward. He's got a break. Purnell, far side Gaffney. Over to Kuliza. He's behind the cage, though. Can't get a shot on. Fakes it out, settles down. And that's a wise decision by the junior attacker. I would have liked to seen Gaffney pull the trigger there, though. He's, 4 yards up on the goal. Shot here by Matthews, high and wide.
And unselfish, but sometimes you can be a little bit too unselfish. They kind of pass themselves out of a really doorstep opportunity. However, they retained control, got the ball at the end line now.
Yeah, wise move to pull it out. Gaffney, the righty, was coming in from that left side, had it in his left hand, chose not to pull the trigger. This is Griffin now going behind. Toscano from that far side. Back up to Matthews quickly. They feed it inside. It gets batted around and missed the pass. That'll be Dover ball.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Interesting. Dover's chosen to go with a zone to really pack it inside. It's given Bedford the opportunities from the outside, but they're clamping down pretty good, and that's another good example of where a missed pass is checked away and Dover gets the ball in the crease.
I was just about to say for the Bulldogs, I don't mind them exploring that feed to the crease, jam it in there every once in a while and see what happens. In that case, it didn't turn out well for them. Good action there at midfield as Bryson Glidden tried to run over the rider. And didn't turn out well for him. He dropped the ball and turns it over, and the Bulldogs are back in the offensive end. 3-0 is your score. The Bulldogs lead. Toscano with a shot. Stopped. Stick side high. Easy one for Chalifour.
Yeah, goalie's going to see that right as it comes out of the stick. Pretty easy save.
Long pass here to the attack is a little bit wayward. Logan Carter can't pull it down, and the Bulldogs will clear it out. Fletcher to the box. And now Matthews shots it over half field. Backside to Purnell. Now up top to Toscano. They have that same shot. Good chance to reposition himself was Zach Griffin, but again, Chalifour was all over it.
Yeah, he's really keeping them in the game here, especially because Bedford's shooting from a little bit outside, getting the open looks, and Chalifour is just gobbling them up.
This is Micah Crick, guarded by Riccio. He steps into the box. Now he'll roll away from pressure. Johnny Rand settles things. Now gets it over to Ben Tower on the far side. Back behind to Carter. Carter wants to go hard, gets the ball on the ground, causes the turnover. There you go. Ooh, nope, can't quite scoop it up, but now he does, so he'll get credit for that CT or caused turnover. Henrichan can't pull in the cross-field pass, but gets the ground ball. Good check. Nice hustle there by Toby DeRoche, as he was not quitting on the ride. Oof. Not quite sure how that wasn't a cross-check there by Kevin Sheridan. Came with the body. The attacker turned into it, but those hands were quite wide apart. Ground ball here by Purnell, and he'll settle things down.
Kind of sloppy going through that clear. Good opportunity for Bedford to clear the zone, put the pressure on Dover, but they weren't able to cleanly get it out. Luckily, though, good defense, good riding, got the ball on the ground, and here they are on offense again.
I like their substitution pattern through the midfield. It's going to give them an odd man here as they have Toscano coming through the midfield. Makes a hard move to his right, pings the pipe. Little appearance from Post Malone there, as Toby DeRoche picks up the rebound all the way out beyond midfield. Now Henrichan tries to get back. We have a flag on the far side. They're going to blow it dead after the save by Ian Fletcher. Not sure what we had backside, but the far side official threw the flag. And the Bulldogs will be down again. Looks like a 1-minute slash penalty. I'm not quite sure who got it. Might have been on the ride. Either a midfielder or an attackman trying to hustle back. It looks like a midfielder, as all three starting attackmen were out there. So Luke Sy will come on. We'll release the penalty. 1:07 left here in the first quarter. The Bulldogs lead 3-0.
You mentioned the odd man opportunities that Bedford's getting, Corey. This is new. I didn't see this out of this team last year. They really have a coordinated way to substitute so they can get that extra free runner and kind of beat the defense to the spot. It's working out for them.
Definitely is adding a level of sophistication to the substitution pattern. Again, trying to get one here and there. On the doorstep there, not finishing Logan Carter. Fletcher comes out of his cage. Far sides. Henrichan can't pick up the ground ball. Good man ball there. I like that. That's fundamentals that you were talking about at the start of the broadcast. Sheridan took man. Henrichan took ball. They get possession for the Bulldogs, and now it looks like they'll clear it out. Little swim move up top by Dylan Soden. He gets it down to Gaffney. Well, they'll settle things and run out the rest of this quarter, likely. Smart move if they keep possession, because then they'll have it at the start of the second quarter. Hold, hold, hold. Do not shoot, and he shoots. That's just awareness right there. So that's a subtle rule of lacrosse. If there is a man-up, man-down situation at the expiration of a quarter or halftime, the team with possession will have possession to start the next quarter. So in this case, the ball was loose. They should have a face-off, as Zach Griffin probably should have eaten that for another 2 seconds.
Yeah, good first quarter for the Bulldogs. We saw, kind of like we talked about at the onset, the little things will matter. They were definitely getting some odd man opportunities, had that little wheel motion, getting them some good shots. But on the defensive end, really having a hard time to settle the ball, because they're getting the ball on the ground, settle the ball, and then get it cleared. But Dylan Soden showed us at the end, sometimes when you get a one-man clear, it's just easier to let them run.
Absolutely. Dylan Soden, an excellent athlete himself, contributor on the football team, was on the varsity basketball team, and now here on the varsity lacrosse team. Actually, 2 state championships under his belt for this year alone. So not a bad season or year so far for Dylan Soden. So Bedford leads 3-0 after 1. We'll start the second quarter. Quick score update from the baseball game. Bedford leads 9-4 coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning. So we'll provide you a final when we have it, but Bulldogs are leading on the diamond this afternoon as well.
So all in all, Corey, we've seen the Dover zone really effective. It's given up a lot of shots, but the goalie is all over them, and we're seeing some good defensive stance by the Dover team amidst the onslaught of outside shots.
Kudos to Dom Chalafour for staying strong between the pipes there. Again, the baseball team, if you want to catch the last little bit, they're over on WBNH 105.1. I'm not discouraging you from listening here to this game, of course, but if you do like baseball, you can catch it there.
Looks like there's the refs, so in between each of the quarters they do a stick check. May have an illegal stick here.
Ooh, so excitement
on Dover.
Looks like number 8, Toby DeRoche, is going to take a knee in the box as they've confiscated the stick. I don't know if it's either too deep or if their dimensions are wrong. If it's just too deep, it's not that significant of a penalty, just a 1 minute. If the dimensions of the stick or something, if it's too long, too short, if the head is not the right measurements, then it could be a 2 minute or 3 minute locked in. And they'll confiscate the stick too. So anyway, the Bulldogs will go up on their first man-up opportunity on the afternoon as Toby DeRoche takes a knee in the box for the Green Wave. Matthews up top, Toscano near side. Back to Matthews. Far side now Griffin. Quick little rotation up top. Attack, change position as well. Griffin with the crank, can't get it on cage. Had it top side, but couldn't quite bury it top shelf. Kuliza backs it up. He'll bring it in from the end line. Well, 4-man rotation up top, trying to get the Dover Green Wave moving their feet. Griffin had a little space there on the crease. Good stick, well done by the defenseman. That's Jackson Bairstow. Bats that cross field pass down, and the Green Wave might get out of this one.
Yeah, Bedford again had some nice action, but got a little bit impatient. If they just kept moving the ball, I think they had someone backside, 1 or 2 more passes.
Little stutter step move by Kevin Sheridan after picking up the ground ball. Beautiful cross field pass to Henrishon. Up quickly to Purnell, and they'll settle things down and try to capitalize on this man up.
Looks like Dover's sticking with that zone.
Well, they're still man down now, so it's 6-on-5 situation. They get it behind. Kuliza looks to feed. Up top to Matthews, now to Toscano. Back to Matthews, and they'll get their 4-man rotation. There you go. Look to that crease cutter. They had Griffin. Griffin might have lost it in the sun as it was right there in a tough spot. Chalafour clears it out. Gets it deep to the corner. That's Ryan Hodge. Hodge pulls it down, and they'll try to settle things. And the penalty is released, so we are even strength now as Kerr looks to get the cause turnover again, gets it on the ground and picks up the ground ball. Well done by Kerr. Oh, hits off the referee momentarily, but ball don't lie. That was out of bounds. Jeez, they're playing the white here. That is in the wrong spot. The pylon here should be on that black line, not the white one. It went over the black line, did not go over the white line, so it should have been out of bounds, but it wasn't ruled out of bounds. Strange. And now Bedford takes a timeout to keep possession. They're ahead 3-0, 9:40 to go in the first half.
Yeah, it must have been the shadows, Corey. Starting to see the sun set a little bit, those tall trees, play some tricks.
Yeah, we'll say shadows. That's it. A little bit of sloppy play here again. The Bulldogs had the man-up opportunity. They had a couple of decent opportunities within that. Not necessarily great shots, but again, Griffin was right there on the crease, couldn't handle the pass. Looks like Kaliza might have had an opportunity to crank. Griffin missed the cage early in that man-up opportunity, so they're getting looks, just not cashing in here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's right. Especially man up, you got to hit the cage, even if it's going to start a rebound or get things moving. Not hitting the cage is tough, especially when you're getting wide open backside looks. Something that Bedford could definitely look to improve here.
And again, Dom Chalafour, the goalie for the Wave, has made some good stops here. Again, we just saw him clearing it out. Almost a full field pass to Ryan Hodge in the attack end. Gave the defense a bit of a reprieve, but as you see Brody Helton picking the ball up near side on the 40, the Bulldogs are ready to go back on the attack. So again, 9:40 to go in the first half. The Bulldogs lead 3-0. Should have even strength here. I only see 5 defenders trotting out, but I believe that penalty was released. And now we'll get another that's trotting in from the sideline.
I'd like to see Bedford get the ball behind, really work the cutters from up top and feeding back to front. I think that's something that we saw last game, giving a lot of really good opportunities.
Getting the defense and the goalie to turn their head presents really good opportunities from the scoring side of the field. They're going to continue to work that wheel, and Helton looks for that low corner again, but it's backed up, this time by Colton Poole. As Helton keeps taking these shots or a midfielder in a similar position, that defender's likely going to start creeping up, and then they can get Kuliza coming around the cage on a little bit of a sneak.
And I think it's a lot like in basketball. If you have too wide open of a shot, it actually gets harder, where Brody's got another one here, looking at the opportunity to get it on goal, and he does.
There it is. Beautiful. Waited for it a little bit, let the play develop, and a nice little face dodge to catch the goalie off guard, but Helton will score. That's his second on the day. I'm not sure if they'll give the assist to Purnell, but it might have been a few extra steps, but I would give it to him.
Yeah, good patience by Helton, good feed, keeping the ball moving. I think this is what Coach Bordeaux wants them to be looking at, is making the extra pass and getting in close, getting the ball on cage.
And given that most of the players are right-handed out here, that's the side of the field that you want to work that wheel, right? So Purnell righty, gives to Helton righty, makes a nice little face dodge, is able to finish with his strong hand in the center of the formation here.
Absolutely.
Legal procedure on Roberto. The Green Wave will pick it up and go on the offensive end. This is Riley Joyce with the ball at center field. Right inside the face-off X. 9 minutes to go in the first half. The Bulldogs lead 4-0.
Credit to Bedford. We really haven't seen Dover in a 6-on-6 offensive set in a while.
You're getting this right here. The defense just all-out pressure and getting the ball on the turf. And they come back again, prevent the shot. Good hustle by Henrishon, not giving up on the play. And now by Sheridan. Gets the ball on the turf, rolls away from pressure, and finds his line mate near side. Henrishon now up the field. That son's in a tough spot, but it's handled by Nick Hadley, the long stick midfielder. Steps it into the box, and now he'll settle.
A ton of pressure from the Bedford defense. It's really all over Dover, not letting them get into any set plays.
Like to see that, too. These defensemen, big, strong, athletic. Sheridan and Henryshawn are both football players, again state champions from early this year. Congrats again to them, but they're significant contributors here on the lacrosse field. Strong kids, able to move their feet, and as long as they maintain that great position, they can throw all the kind of junk checks they want. Shot here by Griffin, hits off the goalpost, and it's backed up by, they're going to give it to Shalafor, I believe.
Yeah, I think this is where the zone is hurting Dover because they're making the top guy play 2. And so this wheel action is making him stop the ball and then have to turn and recover and get back to the next guy. The ball always moves faster than the feet.
Definitely. In this case, the ball's moving into the middle to Purnell, and he's going to go low to high and bury one. Beautiful shot by Purnell. Got the elevator going. And now we're going to get a timeout by the Dover Green Wave as the lead goes out 5-0. The Bulldogs in control here in the first half with 7:33 to go.
Yeah, real nice. These are those transition plays we were talking about. Everybody can practice set plays 6-on-6, but when the ball's getting cleared and the ball's on the ground, Bedford's absolutely dominating in these situations, getting the ball and getting it to the right people.
Sure is. They've been able to capitalize on these unsettled situations, transition, and that leads them to a 5-goal difference here. Timeout by the Green Wave, trying to stem the tide. Pun intended. Each team will huddle up on the sideline, talk through the strategies. We'll go back to the face-off X where Roberto has been doing quite well. I think he might be, 5 of 6 on the evening?
Yeah, there are a lot of people stuffing the stat sheet. Whoever the statistician is for this game, they're going to have a lot of work to do to tally up those stats.
I mean, there's so many things you could think about, just successful clears, failed clears. You got ground balls. Of course, goals and assists, those are the easy ones. We want, offensive and defensive efficiency. Let's get some sabermetrics going here on the lacrosse team. Love to see it.
Absolutely. Shots on goal would be another one versus total shots.
Yeah, and again, unfortunately for the Bulldogs, that percentage is going to be lower than desired by second-year head coach Drew Bordeaux. This is his second year coaching the Bulldogs, first year as the head coach. So as we talked about on the broadcast Tuesday, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy around the program this year. It's led to a 1-0 record, and they're looking to extend that out here on their second game of the season. Riccio with the ground ball, gets it up to Purnell. Guliza will settle. Good position defense there by Orion Jennison.
Really nice ground ball by Riccio, digging it out of the pack and getting it up and getting it forward. Gives Bedford the opportunity to sub and take a break here.
Good hustle, good scrappy play. Roberto through the midfield line. Bulldogs have their midfield line of Helton, Poole, and this time Evan Capello comes on. We're going to get a slash here on the Dover defender. Poole, nice little stutter step, gets open, but Shalafor is true to the test.
Couldn't cash it in.
Could not. Just Shalafor just saw it the whole way. I mean, you crank up. Well, it was probably, 12, 15 yards away? And too much space for Shalafor. He was all over it. He was down on his knees waiting for that low shot, hip level. Easy save for the keep.
This is one of those things, Corey, from in general in lacrosse, given the face-off, if you can dominate there and dominate ground balls, you can absolutely manage a game and basically keep the momentum going for as long as you can keep that advantage. And Bedford, we're seeing that today, them being able to score, get the face-off, and get the ground balls, keep possession.
When you have that dominant face-off midfielder, a Fogo, as we like to refer to them in lacrosse, if you have that Fogo that nobody's beating, it's basically a make it, take it. Now Griffin gets the ball in on the crease. He doesn't have that much time. He's got to take that and turn and rip. Jennison now with the ground ball, tries to get it up near side. Great ride by the Bulldogs. Again, they're man up. They want to hustle at all costs here to get that ball back. Ooh, right into traffic. Can't pick it up. Still on the ground. And still on the ground. Now Matthews picks it up. They'll settle things down. A little bit of sloppiness through the center of the midfield there as we tick down to about 5.5 remaining in the first half. Again, the Bulldogs up 5-0. Backside, Kuliza finds himself open. Buries high. Beautiful look from Matthews, too. He just saw Kuliza on that back door chilling. Nobody around. And a relatively untouched approach to the goal, and Kuliza buries top right.
Yeah, I really got to give credit to the attackman for Bedford for the hard ride. Luke Purnell, some of the others really riding hard and getting back to the midfield. It's so easy to, it's a hot day out, so easy to kind of loaf it a little bit, but these guys are running really hard, and it's causing all sorts of problems for Dover.
Purnell and Gaffney hustling hard, as well as the midfielders there on that man-up unit. Scrappy play leads to a goal. Kuliza's third on the day. He's got a hattie today. 4-1 in game 1 on Tuesday. So good start to the season for the junior attacker. Roberto now, again, as we talked about, been winning these faceoffs consistently. The Bulldogs have possession again. Through the midfield. Sai subs in. Toscano comes down the pipe. Feed a little wayward. Right to the Dover player coming in from the box. Luckily, Luke Sai is able to slow him down a little bit, but there's still a man-up opportunity for Dover. Pass goes astray, though. They can't make the connection as Toby DeRoche missed his cutting teammate, Logan Carter.
Dover had a great opportunity there. 2-on-1. Someone coming up from the backside and just could not connect. Tough play.
And again, in transition, you look for those odd man type situations. Even 5-on-4, 4-on-3, whatever it is. In that case, it was a 2-on-1. They make the extra pass, and they had a very good opportunity, just couldn't complete it. Bulldogs up late in that game on the baseball diamond, 9-7, bottom of the 7th. And here, Matthews gets a look, sails it high though. Backed up on the backside by Sean Toscano.
I'm a little bit surprised Dover has kept with this zone. They're really making it hard on the top defenders. They basically have to play the ball and then play it again after the pass up top. It's really creating a problem for them.
Nice quick hands there by Gaffney. Missed the original pass, but a little tap into the turf, pops it back to himself. I like that. Griffin now. Purnell looks inside. Gaffney. Far side. Matthews pings a pipe. Griffin bobbled it a little bit, but now Gaffney gets it in the middle. Shoots low and wide. Kuliza with the backup. I like the passing here. They're looking for their teammates. They're getting open shots. Pinging a few pipes. Now straight away. Griffin stoned. Well done. Shalafor.
That's a good save.
That is. He's coming across his body. They're trying offside hip. And again, Shalafor gets his butterfly net across his body and makes the save. Johnny Rand tries to run through Soden. Soden gets back. Kerr now will extend pressure. Far side, that was DeRoche. Now Luca Reddy. Directing traffic, wants Ryan Hodge to pop out. Henrishon's going to extend pressure on him. And now Sheridan.
I like that.
Bud Ends hanging out there. You want to have him explore that a little bit? Go ahead.
That's right. I like that from Bedford, really extending the pressure. It just creates, it doesn't allow Dover to get into any type of set offense. And it keeps you moving, which is exactly what you want when Dover really hasn't had a lot of possession down here.
Two saves there by Ian Fletcher, one with his face and one with a little help from his friend, Post Malone. It's a good drive there by Johnny Rand, a little stutter step with his feet. Now Toby DeRoche. He'll settle things down, see if he can get a shot. crank shot wide and left. Now behind,
Nice
pushed
play.
out of bounds. Good play.
Yeah, that's what that pressure does. It makes you play against the sideline when you're on offense as well. And we see there, defender was able to push out the Dover attackman turnover for Bedford.
Use that sideline or end line in this case as an extra defender. Frequent strategy in basketball as well as several other sports, and well done by Sheridan on that play to help him out. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Bulldogs lead 6-0 over the visiting Green Wave. And Jay, we'll see if the Green Wave want to pop out of this zone. Kuliza, nice little backside cut. Shalafor, beautiful. 2 saves. No, they do finish. Okay, Gaffney scoops up the ground ball, is able to cash in, but Shalafor again stones Kuliza on that first attempt. Gaffney, a little garbage goal, right place, right time. Still counts as one in the stat book.
Yeah, and we really see, kind of two philosophies on either side of the field, whereas Bedford's extending, causing a little bit of havoc and not letting Dover get settled. On the opposite side, Dover sticking in that zone gives Bedford open passing lanes and giving them more time to pick them apart, and Bedford's taking advantage.
Sure have. A lot of it has to do with personnel, too. You have to have the right game plan and strategy that's appropriate for the personnel that you have on your team and on the field. And again, the Bulldogs have some athletes on that defensive end. They can really extend that pressure, and they've seen a lot of success with it. Again, only 2 goals let up against Concord on Tuesday. And through nearly the entire first half here, they have yet to let another one in.
Yeah, there's got to be something the Dover coaching staff sees with that matchup you talked about that won't let them go man-to-man or something else.
Face off here. They kicked Roberto out. Perhaps some tape. Oh, it looks like he's over by the trainer, so maybe a little blood on him. But great job on the ground ball here. Brody Helton scoops that up, runs away from pressure, steps it into the offensive box, and we'll settle things down. I love that Sam Durso was calling for it, the long stick midfielder there. Come on, Brody, give me the ball, man. Big man gets down here, give me a shot.
That's right. That's his Super Bowl time.
Durso will go in at close defense.
Yeah, if you're a defender, you see all these short sticks taking long-range shots, you want to be part of that.
Yeah, man. Give me the ball. Give me the rock, man. I didn't run all the way down here for nothing.
That's right.
Master da Casa to Purnell. Poole now. Back to Purnell. Feeds it into the crease. Gaffney comes around right. He buries it into the turf. Kuliza gets sandwiched down low, and the loose ball falls to Shalafor. Nice outlet pass to Landon Gray. And Helton chases him down. Great speed by the big kid. Green Wave call timeout to preserve possession here with 26 seconds to go in the first half. Trying to draw up a play to get an open shot to get on the score sheet here in this game. The Bulldogs lead 7-0. 26 to go in the first half.
Yeah, and with 26 seconds left, it's a 7-0 game, but this is an important stretch. Being able to go in with some momentum for the Bulldogs would be huge. This is an important part where I wonder if the coaches on the Bedford side are going to throw a little wrinkle, a zone or something like that.
And this is a fun time period, and you're absolutely right. It can have a significant influence on momentum. Last 2 minutes of a quarter, first 2 minutes of a quarter can change the whole dynamic.
That's right. You want Uncle Mo on your side.
Uncle Mo. Tell you what, Brody Helton had Uncle Mo on his side on Tuesday as he ran through 2 checks and left broken sticks in his wake. It was beautiful to watch. Big, strong freshman midfielder. He's got 2-1 tonight so far. And we're only a little bit less than halfway through the game. Quick scoring update for the Bulldogs. 3 goals by Derek Kuliza. He leads the way. 2-1, as I just mentioned, for Brody Helton. A goal and an assist for James Gaffney, and then a goal and an assist for Luke Purnell. and an assist each for Bennett Matthews and Brian Riccio, the long stick midfielder, on a beautiful transition play. That makes up the 7 goals for the Bulldogs. Teams break their huddles from their timeout. The sun is setting over our back right shoulder. Could be an issue in these closing seconds for the goal down to our left, as the shadows and the sun can become an issue. Micah Crick will start for the Green Wave. So the goalie's top right. He's guarded by Brian Riccio, trying to get some slap checks in there, get that ball on the turf. He lifts now, gets back to his left hand. Good pull, but he misses low and left. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. We're going to get another whistle here. Not quite sure what happened. Perhaps a ball was on the field. Well, they'll scoop it up from the end line again. And the Green Wave bring it in. Good hustle there by Riccio, interrupting that pass. They knew they wanted to get back to Micah Crick. And Riccio overplayed it, got a stick in, got the ball on the ground. They're going to run out the rest of this second quarter. Soden right there for the ball as it squirted towards the midfield, gets possession, swims a couple players as the horn sounds. And we'll end the first half with the Bulldogs ahead 7-0. Not playing good hosts to the Dover Green Wave. We'll take a break. See you on the other side. And we're back here at Bedford High School as the Bulldogs lacrosse team is playing host to the Dover Green Wave. But again, not a very kind host. They are up 7-0 through the first half. Ready for a third quarter action here. Jay, any other observations from that first half?
Yeah, it's really hard to fault anything Bedford's done. Just would like to see, talking to a couple of the parents here, love to see a little bit more patience. Try not to jam it into the crease so fast, and then also cleaning up some of those rides.
Come on, man. I even said I like them jamming the crease every once in a while. You got to explore that a little bit, right?
Explore the space.
Yeah, explore the whole studio space.
This is what I do like, though, Corey. Ground balls.
Ground balls right off the face-off. We talked about that in the first half. Toscano now feeds the crease. Oh, save. Hadley had a good shot at it. And again, Chalifort eating it up back there between the pipes. Anticipated that long stick going low, and he was right on. Now Kuliza's going to pick off the pass, and as you were talking about, hustle on the rides. Kuliza runs through a couple checks, draws 2. He'll settle things down behind. Soden says, come on, man, I'm a D-midi. Give me the ball. Give me a shot.
Like I said, that's the Super Bowl. Get your name in the paper.
Kuliza says, I don't think so. We're gonna hang out here. Griffin, little shot fake, gets to his right hand. He'll shoot. Ping Chalifort right off the melon. Another save for the keep.
Tough angle. Righty, moving to the right, cutting off the angle on the goalie. Was able to close the door. Took it off the chin, but good save.
Tried to sneak it near side, too, and Chalifort took it off the ear. Matthews now. Top right of the goalie, Toscano. He'll rotate through. Coming off the backside is Purnell, but they'll keep going for strong side. Matthews now feeds the crease, and Gaffney pays it off. Gaffney with that little sidearm crank pulls it high. And Bennett Matthews will pick up his second assist of the evening. Gaffney now with 2 and 1.
Yeah, good to see the freshman getting some points on, and that's that patience. Moving the ball around, making the defense move, and it's just creating some great looks for Bedford.
Sure is, and that was a great look, but it was a little bit of a higher crease this time, right? They weren't jamming it down just 5 yards up high of the crease. They took maybe 3 or 4 more steps out, and Gaffney found himself some time and space there and able to cash it in. Good face-off here by Parker O'Toole. Pushes forward, steps it in the offensive box, and they'll settle things down.
We saw Parker today in the JV game as well, win a whole lot of face-offs and create some offense, 2 or 3 goals just off of those face-offs. Good to see him doing well here.
With an 8-0 lead, the Bulldogs will have some liberties to put in Some other rarely used players in these varsity games, as we see Evan Capello is now on in the midfield line.
Yeah, and if you're the coach to that point, as new players go in, what you really want them to see and do is that keep that same intensity. That's really what's got to carry through no matter who's on the field.
That intensity stays high here as Riley Joyce smacked Poole in the head, so he'll go off and feel shame when this ball gets blown dead. Bulldogs will, it's a delayed penalty similar to what you see in hockey. Helton pings the pipe, can't get it to go. We're going to get, that's an over and back, but they don't blow it dead. and the Dover Green Wave were offside, so that was some a couple of missed blown whistle opportunities, but we won't complain about that too much.
That's right. It evens out.
Poole. Now Capello. Ball gets dropped, and now they'll blow it dead. So what we saw at midfield is it's an over and back, right? If that ball goes into the defensive end, it should be blown right away because there was a flag down. The defensive players are able to stop the ball on the offensive side with their long sticks, even if they're standing on their defensive side, but that's not what happened. The ball actually did cross over the midfield line, so it should have been blown dead there. But they let it play out, and finally it was Jacob Bernier who picked up the ground ball for the Green Wave to get the whistle to be blown. And we will have Riley Joyce kneeling over there on the sideline in the penalty box for a 1-minute penalty slashed. Slashed on the head. Griffin now plays catch with Matthews. Down low, Kaliza. They spin it near side. Griffin comes off the side. Ooh, just misses it wide. I like the play there. They're getting some action from behind. Getting the midfielder cutting across to his strong hand. Had some time to take that scissor step and crank, but pulled it just wide.
Yeah, that's a pretty common play and run very well where the wing attackman will actually come into the crease and seal off that middle crease defender as the midfielder comes around from up top and has a free run.
Good save here by Chalifour. He's out on the run looking to clear it himself. He gets run down from behind. Yeah, we're going to get a push with possession there as Toscano is hustling back. Can't fault the hustle. Chalifour stopped right in front of him. That's what Trae Young does in the NBA all the time, trying to, get those fouls. It works for Chalifour here, and the Green Wave will go up on the man up.
Yeah, that goalie's been pretty impressive today. Definitely knows what he's doing with the ball, knows how to find the ball in the air. He's really kept Dover. I know we're not that close, 8-0, but he has kept this game very respectable with all his efforts.
If I had to ballpark it, I think he has about 42 saves right now.
Yep.
More realistically, just north of 10, maybe 11 or 12. 8:09 to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs lead 8-0. Green Wave are going to go on the man up here. That 30-second push on Toscano. You get some substitutions on the attack side here. Luke Tsai comes in. He'll release the penalty, but also senior attacker Tyler Daldo is going to take the field for the Bulldogs. The Green Wave now into their man up.
It's like a one. Ooh, they're missing a player.
That's a tough one right there. Luca Reddy trots on. They try to get in their formation. Far side to Johnny Rand. Back behind for Carter. Batted down by Sheridan, and that'll just about do it on that 30-second penalty. Sheridan slows things down. Backs it out. Looks far side. Luke Tsai. Tough in-between bounce, but he does well to handle it.
Yeah, yet again, that extended pressure, creating errors and turnovers when Dover should just be having pretty simple passes.
We got a turnover here. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe an offside. Didn't quite hear them. So too many Bulldogs forward of the midfield line. And now the Bulldogs defense was sleeping here. They let a long pass go. They kick it back into the middle. Johnny Rand will pull it back out. We're back to 6-on-6 lacrosse. Great pressure there again by Riccio. Gets a bad pass. Soden gets it on the ground. Gaffney now presses. Far side, Kuliza feeds the middle. Goes astray. Green Wave dodge a bullet there. Gets batted out of bounds far side by Jackson Bairstow. So the Bulldogs will step it in from that far sideline.
Yeah, it was the right look. Kuliza had Purnell coming in, crashing across the front of the cage, just couldn't handle the pass.
It looked like it was going to be a number situation, but I think it was actually just a 3-on-3. Purnell steps in, stoned again. Chalafour's been seeing those all night.
Yeah,
I think that was his 48th save.
Just call that popcorn.
Popcorn. He's saying clear when it's
That's
halfway
right.
to him, right? That
That's
goalie's saying, defense, get out of here. This is in my basket already.
That's right. As a defender, we yell at our offensive teammates and say, we already warmed up the goalie. You don't need to do it again.
Good backup here by the Green Wave. Shot was low and wide. Getting back was Toby Zielfelder.
We were joking about it before, but I really would like to see shots on goals versus total shots. I mean, we've seen some pretty wide attempts here for Bedford. One of the few things they could be looking at this weekend, next week in practice.
And Chalafour's been great in the net, but, Bulldogs need to make him work even harder. Micah Crick down that side. Good pass across, but ball gets on the ground again. Soden, nice box out, gets himself room for the ground ball. Now he's into transition. Pressing hard near side, runs through another check. Ooh, and he gets popped hard. Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a flag. Soden took a good shot after he shot it. Low and outside left. He pops right back up. Tough kid, but the Green Wave will send one off. Orion Jennison came over strong. Again, good solid hit after the whistle, and that's the kind of hit they're trying to eliminate from the game of lacrosse.
Yeah, it was a really nice play by Soden, getting the, again, kind of one-man clear, being able to come down and turn defense into offense. Tough shot, again, small angle, right-handed, running hard along the right-hand side, missed the cage, but he earned one for Bedford as they go man up.
He sure did, right? Take a hit, make a play like you see in hockey all the time. He took the hit, made the play, missed the cage, but he took the penalty. So Bulldogs will go back on the extra man. One thing I like to see, especially when they're getting back in these one-on-one type situations here, throw a little fake. Kuliza's really good about that, right? Little fake high, go low, fake high, little dip and dunk, whatever it is. But just a touch of a stick fake will get the goalie off of his game. That little stutter step, that pause in the action will give you a much better chance of putting it past him.
Yeah, and it's kind of odd. The Bedford team is actually having, in my opinion, more success moving the Dover defense when they're 6-on-6 versus man up. So let's see what they can do here.
Look at that. You got one right on the crease. There you go. You finally found him. Tyler Daldo waiting, saying, give me the dang ball. Purnell finally sees him, and Daldo cashes for his first goal of the game. Took him a little while, though. Purnell was ready to set their game in motion, get whatever play Coach Bordeaux had called out, and he finally saw Tyler Daldo just sitting there on the crease. Fed it to him, and again, easy cash from that position.
Yeah, taking advantage of those unsettled situations. Bedford's been living on that for a while here today. A lot of goals off of those unsettled rides and clears.
4:53 to go in the third quarter. Bedford leads 9-0. Roberto pops forward to himself. Gets a little rough. Does some rough housing as he bumps into Ben Tower, knocks him down. And they'll settle things down. Backside, they find a cutter who is Brody Helton. He gets stoned again. Chalafour. But Chalafour's outlet pass goes out of bounds. Schedule coming up. Bulldogs will go to Exeter on Tuesday the 18th. That game's at 6:30, followed by a big one the following Tuesday. They play Bishop Girton, who comes to town. That'll be a doubleheader here for the Bulldogs girls and boys teams. Should be a fun evening of lacrosse. Down here on the doorstep, Kuliza, the net rattled, but unfortunately it was outside of the net, so it does not count on the scoreboard.
Same wheel play, same opening. Helton made the right pass. One more, getting it down to goal line extended. Just didn't have the angle to get it into the face of the cage.
Yeah, you want to see Kuliza take one more step higher there above the crease, give himself at least a bit of an angle. Dover's upcoming schedule, they have Exeter on the 17th. That is Monday. And then they have Oyster River Newmarket on the 19th. That is Wednesday. Ball's going to go out of bounds here. That's Evan Johnston, had it slip out of his stick. We should be able to broadcast the away Exeter game as the BCTV crew will tap into the Exeter broadcast for that game. So that'll be a nice treat for all of the Bedford lacrosse fans out there. I know you'll be sad you won't be hearing me during that game, but the Exeter TV folks will bring it to you live. Kerr trying to extend that pressure, double teams, the ball's on the ground again. Roberto gets it going his way, takes some contact. Gets the ball back on the turf. Little hot potato there right now. Finally, Crick picks it up for the Green Wave.
Yeah, not only has Bedford been extending, they're bringing a little bit of pressure, a little bit of heat too.
Right there, and you see that heat pay off. Riccio, nice little tap from behind. Crick picked it with his hand, and you can't do that. And now we see a penalty. Not sure what the penalty is, but it looks like Roberto might be going to the box to feel shame. Yeah, it's an unsportsmanlike. It's going to be locked in, too. We see the referee put his hands together above his head, so that means the penalty is locked in. I don't know if it's 1, 2, or 3. Likely a 1 or 2. It didn't seem that significant, and likely had to do with a little bit of chirping after that play.
Yeah, Bedford, feeling themselves a little bit, and rightfully so. But it's good on the refs to call that, cut that out quick, because it only escalates from there if you don't.
Do you have experience in that, Jay?
I was well-mannered, please, thank you, always. Yes, sir, no, sir.
That was to your coaches. How about the refs? No,
That's
I'm just kidding. 2:39 to go in the third quarter. The Green Wave are on the man up. Ready. Near side high, Crick. Now back to the far side for Johnny Rand. We're going to work it behind, and that pass goes out of bounds. And again, it's that pressure. Spencer Henrishon getting out, getting his stick in those hands. And that causes that wayward pass.
It makes all the difference, too, because if he doesn't decide to do that, that's an easy pass, and Dover still has the ball. The fact that he stepped out and put that pressure on, here you go. It changes the game.
One-man clear. Soden gets it to Hatfield, gives it to Sy. We see a penalty down. And now Soden might be going off for what is termed an unsportsmanlike. Yeah, he is. To me, it looked like he was chirping back to the referee like, hey, I just got slashed. The referee interpreted it as he was chirping the Green Wave player. So I don't know. I think the ref might be confused on that one. I don't agree with that call. I didn't hear what happened on the far side with Dalton and Roberto, but that one there seemed like the referee was a little touchy about that one.
Yeah. Probably those shadows again, getting in the eyes. What do you think?
Too many shadows, too many blurred visions, but we're 2:01 left in the third quarter. The Bulldogs up 9-0. I'm sure Coach Bordeaux is going to be addressing this. I don't know. He's going off in that huddle over there. He's not pleased about those two calls. Certainly the first one I understand. This one, again, I think Soden was looking back, motioned with his glove, and the referee misinterpreted it. Soden was probably pleading for a slash call because that, again, he got whacked after he had let the ball go, but they're going to call it unsportsmanlike for a taunting.
Yeah. Good for Coach to get after him a little bit. I mean, this is early in the season. You set a little bit of the tone. What do you want to do when you're up 9-0? How do you want to close it out? I'm sure that's what he's thinking and trying to get his team focused on playing the right way. Again, a little bit of suspect of who's talking to whom, but all in all, the end result is another Dover man up when they didn't need to have one.
Yeah, the proper way of closing it out. How would you envision that? What are you seeing now?
Well, it's still those hustle plays. It's extending on defense. It's clears. It's being able to make the extra pass. As you said, it's so important to get people reps, especially when you're up like this in a game. But those people, they're going to make mistakes perhaps, but they have to keep the enthusiasm and the energy up. But it's about their team, how they're working with their team. When you start getting into it with the other team, the refs will stop that very quickly, and you're going to find yourself in the sin bin.
So the Green Wave go up. They are 2 men up right now as that first penalty was locked in for unsportsmanlike. The second one is likely locked in as well. I didn't see the actual call to the sideline. The Green Wave are working it around quickly. And Henryshawn again, solid all day. Gets the ball on the ground. Unfortunately goes out of bounds, but he's disrupting the flow of this extra man offense.
There's another stat for the statistician. How many disruptions, knockdown passes, and pressures has this Bedford defense had today?
Yeah, those are Marcus Smart plays right there. Or I should say Marcus Smart.
That's right.
And again, the ball's on the turf. Kerr looking to capitalize on that. And Green Wave go out of bounds. He was clearly 3 steps out. Now the official catches up with it. As that was Toby DeRoche feeling the heat from Kerr. And they do blow it dead finally. As Tristan Kerr applied the pressure. Junior defenseman has been all over the field tonight. Luke Sy runs through a check. Clears it out. Sean Toscano will settle things down. One of the penalties is released, but they will have to wait for their 6th offensive player. Ticking down to a minute to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs ahead 9-0.
Yeah, and that clears one of those examples where it's just going to have athletes on your team. Give Luke the ball, say run, get over midline and keep it safe. And we've seen a couple people be able to do that today off the Bedford team.
It's good to see these athletes. It takes speed, strength, but it also takes good stick skills. Toscano waiting for the penalty to be released, and finally it is as we get down to 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. This zone defense staying tight. They're not going to chase behind. And again, I would have liked to see them take a couple of different approaches. They saw success with the wheel. Maybe approach the zone from the backside too, right? Work a couple of different plays because, you know, you might face a zone later in the season. You know the wheel was working. If that doesn't work in the next time, well, how else are you going to approach it? Backside here. Griffin rips, gets hit in the middle. Gaffney took it off the shin as he jumps around in agony. And we'll close out the third quarter as that horn sounds. 2 minutes on the board in between periods, and the Bulldogs again lead 9-0 after 3. Scoring update for you. Kaliza again leads the way. 3 goals, no assists. 2 goals and an assist for James Gaffney. 2 and 1 also for Brody Helton. A goal and 2 assists for Luke Purnell. 2 assists for Bennett Matthews. 1 goal for Tyler Daldo, and 1 assist for Brian Riccio.
Yeah, I'd like to see the offense. They're really moving the ball pretty well. And the possession arrow is almost all Bedford, it seems. So a lot of good. I really want to see them make that extra pass, like you said. I think you're right. This is an opportunity not only for the starters but for some of the other folks, younger folks, to get in and really feel what that momentum moves. I mean, this is not a point where you're going to make that perfect pass. You'd rather make 2 really good passes than that 1 perfect one at this point. Really stretch the defense and work your offense.
Stretch the defense out, moving out of their positions in that zone. So 3 threes. Well, it looks like it might be a diamond and 2. So 2 defensemen parked on that crease. They're kind of rotating through the 4 above that. So it could look like a 3-3 at times, but those two close defensemen are basically parking themselves on that crease. And again, they're going to start giving up some of these outside shots, especially when these defensemen get tired. More and more of those time and space shots are going to materialize.
Yeah, you're right. And you also made a comment about the crease. I think they had some success when Bedford brought a higher crease. Being able to play with that, go high-low with the crease, really spread out even internal to that zone is something that I think is going to open up some alleyways that haven't been there previously.
12 minutes back on the board. We'll go to the face-off X. This is Parker O'Toole taking the face-off for the Bulldogs.
I got to tell you, too, as we go through this face-off, it's kind of impressive to see the Bedford size on defense as they stand up next to Dover. Got some big boys in there.
Great face by O'Toole. Ooh, defenseman takes it off the hand. That couldn't feel good.
No.
As Purnell was taking the crank. And you're absolutely right. We've talked about that defense for the Bulldogs. I like how they substitute through the midfield, too. Near side defenseman closest to the box hustles off. They get a shorty on. They try to substitute through midfield every time they can to get those odd man situations. Toscano steps in, draws one. Purnell now. Feed in the middle to Kaliza. He can't get it on Cage. And the goalie chases it out. Shalafor again, making plays.
Yeah, playing hard. Guy's still in this game.
A lot of credit to number 4, junior goalie Dom Shalafor. He's had a game. It says 9-0 up on the scoreboard. That does not show the game he's had. It could easily be 15 or 18 if not for him. Jump in the passing lane. Matthews, he was a little disappointed, but Bulldogs are still going to get possession based on that hustle play.
Yeah, good ride again. Story of the game here.
Wow. Near side official felt it glanced off the white player, so the green wave will pick it up. A lot of people confused on that one. But Henderson now will extend pressure. This is Ryan Hodge carrying. Hanging that butt end out. Good checks by Henderson. Now Kerr's going to go heavy. Looking for a trail check here and there. Ooh, he was setting up the over-the-head check. Didn't have enough time to go for it, but a wayward pass will send it back to Bedford.
Yeah, kind of a curious call on that out of bounds. It's usually a good indicator when all the players on both sides line up one way and it gets overturned. But anyway, ball, no harm for Bedford. Ball goes out of bounds. Here they try to clear.
We don't like to chirp the officials too much. Again, they're doing the best they can, but they don't have the best angle on every call. We really appreciate them being out there. Again, if anybody wants to be a lacrosse official out there, please contact the NHIAA. Go to their website. We need experienced lacrosse folks if possible, but if you're interested, we just need numbers to be officials in this sport, along with every other sport. So go out there and explore, get out there, and if you have time, want a little extra cash on the side, get out there and be an official.
Tell them Corey sent you.
Yeah. They might say, no, we don't want you. Oh, no, tell them Corey Parker sent you, not me. Loose ball push. That'll go over to the Bulldogs. Oh, maybe not. It'll go to the green wave. They quickly correct that activity on the far sideline in front of the Bedford bench. Good hustle on the ride, but even better clear by Luca Reddy. And now Sheridan looks to press out again. I'm not surprised to see this defensive approach, especially from Coach Bordeaux, a decorated college defenseman himself. He likes that aggressive move, and look at Helton sending him to the turf. Beautiful D. Physical play, and now he has a fast break. They move it along. Purnell, Daldo, Kaliza, and it's a goal. And they want, and we might have some after-the-fact activity, too. I see a flag back at half field. Might be a penalty on the backside, but my gosh, look at Helton. He's running through sticks in game 1 and now sending people right on their backside here in game 2.
Yeah, basically a standing bench press, knocked over the Dover player, but fantastic stick skills and handling there. It wasn't the crispest of passing, but I'll tell you, it's the Bedford, it actually makes it a little bit more impressive. All those handles, and then the ball goes in the back of the net. Very nice.
I'll tell you what, the challenge was they were running a lefty break with 2 righties as attackmen, so you're getting it on the wrong side. Just to explain that, as the point man or the attackman that's responsible for orchestrating that fast break usually goes to the top right of the goalie. Therefore, when they receive that pass, he's got it in his right hand. He can look and make a pass with his strong hand. In this case, Purnell was on the top left of the goalie, but still playing with his left hand. makes that a little bit more challenging. Again, Daldo down on that low left side of the goalie, had in his right hand. Still, they got it across to Kaliza and were able to cash.
Yeah, yep. That's happened a couple times. A couple of these crease feeds that Bedford has had, maybe getting the ball into the right person but the wrong hand, and it really jams you up.
Toscano draws 2. Daldo into the middle. Griffin takes body check. Cleared out by the defenseman. Nice ground ball by Glidden for the Green Wave. I think we're going to have a slash here on the ride. Bulldogs were hustling hard, but they're going to pick up a penalty. We see Brody Cassidy in at close defense for the Bulldogs. And we're going to get a ward there, so it's going to blow that play dead as there was a flag down situation. So the flag down was a delayed penalty, and the next infraction or goal or ball out of bounds gets that whistle to be called, and I believe they're going to call Toby DeRoche on a ward, so that's what ends the delayed penalty situation. So the Bulldogs again go down on man down. Toscano's going to get a slash, and he'll go in the box and feel shame.
We may still be even, actually, Corey. 5-on-5 lacrosse, as you look over at the box there from that previous goal.
Absolutely right. There's a long stick in the box, kneeling down for the Green Wave. 8:57 to go in the game. The Bulldogs ahead 10-0. Took an early lead and have extended it from there. DeRoche runs through a defenseman. That was Riccio. DeRoche feeds it down low. Spencer Henrichon was looking to absolutely light up Carter, and he didn't need to as the pass got by Carter and out of bounds. That was one of those ones where he's lining him up from 6 yards away. You know, he had the coma slide or the cross crease slide and was looking to put Carter in a coma. Good fake there. Kerr against extending pressure, and the Green Wave finally cash in. This is Logan Carter who scores for the Green Wave, and they get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Dover finally able to take advantage of some of that sloppiness in the clear. Bad pass going up to the midfield, mishandled ball, and Dover's able to take the odd man advantage and get the ball in the back of the net.
And there it goes. A shutout is extremely unusual in lacrosse, especially at the high school varsity level, and a shutout is now not a possibility. 10-1 is your score, 8:30 to go in the game.
That's right. We came for goals, Corey. That's why we're here. Just more Bedford goals, of course.
Some more substitutions on the defensive end. Kerr remains in for the Bulldogs, but he is winged by Brody Cassidy, as well as Sam Durso. Looks like Toby DeRoche.
Parker O'Toole, another face-off, give and go.
Parker O'Toole on the give and go. Picks up the goal. Nice way to respond after giving one up. Get one right back.
Yeah, that's right. And that's, as we talked about, as new people cycle in, you still have to have that energy and enthusiasm. And we saw right there, young guy getting the face-off, give and go, going hard to the goal. Glad to see him get rewarded there.
So Parker O'Toole gets on the score sheet. Nice assist by Purnell. 8:23 to go. We got a procedure on White. 8:23, 11-1 lead. And the substitutions continue. Bennett Matthews, we've seen all night, but now we see Trevor Abendroth. You know that guy at all?
Yeah, once or twice. He never listens to me, but yes. Very uncoachable when he's talking to me, but glad to see him out there.
Getting some run, number 35, long stick midfielder, getting a little play here with 8 minutes left here in the game. He matches up now. This is Johnny Rand. Rand goes behind. They switch off. Feeding the crease now is Rand. Nobody home. Good hustle here by the Green Wave, but they tap it right back inside to Matthews, who is chasing it down. Matthews fakes one side, gets it across Purnell. Nice little face dodge. Shoots, no good. Had Kaliza backside, didn't see him. Opted for the shot, but chases down the shot out of bounds. Now Kaliza Settles. Back up top. Matthews stings one high. Finally gets a crank. That's from 15 yards out, and Chalifour couldn't catch up to that.
Yeah, good placement on that shot. We've been talking about Chalifour being able to gobble up these long-range shots, but those are mostly stick sides. So if he's a righty, they're hitting it right into his stick. Matthews was able to come from the goalie's right all the way across the goalie's face and hit it in the top left corner. Tough save with that type of velocity.
And he tucked it right under the crossbar, too. You could kind of hear it from where we are. And again, when it has that kind of heat and it's well placed, it's tough to catch up to. Chalifour, again, has been phenomenal in cage tonight, but just couldn't catch up to that one. 12-1 is your score. 7:24 remains in the game.
We finally got the lights on, too. So now it really feels like some Friday night lacrosse.
I have to save on the budget a little bit here. Corey Parker only has so much in it, so save here on Colton Poole. Again, Chalifour. Helton there. Excellent ride. Helton's got 2 and 1, but a lot of phenomenal plays without the ball, without getting in the stat sheet. Some good rides, planted a couple guys on their backside. Great transition, great ground ball work. He's a promising midfielder for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and he's one you see a lot. One of those guys plays football, as a lot of these guys do, but being able to kind of translate not only the physicality but the stick skills is such a big difference. Makes you a great player.
Bringing the physical nature to the game. Master da Casa gets into some trouble right in front of the Bulldogs bench. And because it was right there, Coach Bordeaux takes a timeout to preserve possession. 6:38 to go in the game. The Bulldogs lead 12-1. We do have a final score from the baseball game. Not sure that we mentioned that. They did win 9-7 over Concord. That ended up basically right after halftime here. First opportunity to talk about that, but congratulations to the Bulldogs baseball team for that W. They take on Bishop Girton on Monday. I believe the BCTV crew will be there for that one. We intend to broadcast the girls' varsity lacrosse game next Tuesday evening as well. A lot of action with the spring sports here, and we're trying to get as much of it out to the Bedford audiences as possible. Both in town, but extended family around the country. We hear grandmas and grandpas from New York, upstate, out in Colorado, Arizona, all kinds of places throughout the country that folks are tuning into, and we appreciate everybody hitting us up. All kinds of opportunities to watch us, too. There's a new BCTV app for your cell phone, Jay. I'm not sure if you knew about that.
No, I did not. I got to check that out.
There is an app. YouTube channel. All over the social medias. So if you can search Bedford BCTV in New Hampshire and you don't find something, there's something wrong with your search engine. If you want to be involved in the Booster Club, don't forget about them, too. They're always looking for help, volunteers, donations, whatever you want to do. That's bbabc.net. Again, Bedford Bulldogs Athletic Booster Club, bbabc.net. Bulldogs on the man up. Helton's going to take a shot. Beautiful save by Chalifour. Well-placed shot, too. Helton had that offside hip, which is a great shot to take. Beautiful spot to aim for, and Chalifour was true to the test again.
Yeah, I think he's kind of got Brody red a little bit there. Nice
now, outlet pass deep. We have Jesus Rivera. We're going to see substitutions on both sides here. Good hustle by Dursa. Dursa was over there battling for it, but the Green Wave come up with it. There's Toby DeRoche. Back right of Fletcher. We haven't had to say Fletcher's name much. He hasn't really been tested back there between the pipes for the Bulldogs.
I was thinking it, but I didn't want to jinx it.
And there we go, Helton again. Another phenomenal defensive play. They're trying to face dodge him, and he's just jamming him right up. You don't see that frequently in lacrosse, that these midfielders are taking pops and getting planted on the ground, but Helton has been impressive. This is Capello for the Bulldogs. They will settle things down. Luke Carr comes through the midfield.
And here's, I think, another example of a little bit more sophistication where they can take their time, get the right people on the field, and let these kids settle down a little bit. A lot of up and down action. Really good coaching, in my opinion, there.
This is Johnny Rand trying to get through the midfield. Scooping up the loose ball is DeRoche. Down low, now across the crease. They can't connect with Logan Carter cutting on the backside. 4:35 to go in the game. The Bulldogs lead 12-1.
Yeah, good hustle all around. A little bit sloppy play, some drop passes, but at least the guys are running back, firing back on defense, going and swarming the ball.
And that sloppiness is what we kind of expected as some of the seldom used bench players are getting some run. Evan Johnston hustles far side. And Sam Durso will come back in for close defense. Bulldogs looking inside. Capello eaten up by Chalifour again. I think that's 87 saves now for Chalifour.
That's right. Going for 100.
That'd be a record or something at this high school level in New Hampshire, but kid's had a heck of a game.
He has. And I think you're right, Corey. Even the younger guys or the folks who don't get to play, there is a big difference in speed getting out here. And so it's good for them to be able to even just get used to that. Feel it and feel the intensity, get hit a few times. This is what, Coach, this will pay dividends later in the year to have these guys having some touch.
Beautiful feed by Luke Sy. Found the cutter on the doorstep. They couldn't catch and handle. But Sy will get it back. You'll hear it from the ambient mic. They're yelling yellow. That's that yellow light. When you hear, or see a yellow light on the highway, on the streets from a traffic light, you know to slow things down. It's exactly what the coaches are asking for. Want you guys to slow things down. Let's get our substitutions in. They're only playing with 5 guys out there right now. Not quite sure if that was their yellow play, but Chalifour eats another one up. Long pass here, scooped up by the young Abendroth.
Makes Dad proud. Good fundamentals.
That was not easy either. Tough little short hop, and he scooped it up cleanly, gets it up, and now the Bulldogs will settle things down. Cole Wolfinger in. First action of the day for Wolfinger.
Getting close to 2 minutes, too. Bedford will have to keep the ball in the box. We'll see the skills, the stick skills here. Yeah, spread it out and really pass it around.
We may have the margin too great, though, so they may not have to keep it in. Chalifour picks the pass here. They're going to clear things out for the Green Wave. Long pass picked off by Durso. His pass goes into the Green Wave defender. And now some additional sloppy play. Nice body check by Evan Johnston. And the sloppiness continues. Pick that ball up. Protect your stick, boys. Tuck it and run. Green Wave pass goes out of bounds. 1:34 to go in the game, and the Bulldogs lead 12-1.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them close this out, get a good clear here.
Frangillo makes the pass up top. This is Luke Sy again. They work it behind. And we're offside. Man, how does that happen? Run the box, coach. Chalifour will get the ball as the Bulldogs were offside. Legal procedure and change of possession. Chalifour looks through the middle. Can't connect. Looking for Micah Crick, but Reddy is there and picks up the ground ball.
Yeah, Brody Helton still playing hard, riding hard. Good to see.
DeRoche. Now back behind. This is Carter driving hard. He'll settle. Under a minute to go. Micah Crick gets to his right hand. Not enough room to shoot. Passes now and scoring. Coming off the crease is Ben Tower. Tower from Crick.
Yeah, well-placed shot right by Ian's elbow. Tough one for the goalie, that quick of a shot.
And that's it right there, too. It wasn't necessarily extremely well placed. It was stick side, about hip level, but the quickness in which Ben Tower got that shot off created a tough opportunity for Fletcher. So he gets beat for only the second time tonight. We're under 35 seconds. The Bulldogs lead 12-2.
Yeah, it's that quick Steph Curry, Klay Thompson 3. Touches the hands and gone.
Catch and release, right?
Yep.
Not quite a quick stick, but a little bit of a cradle in there, but still good catch and finish there by Crick. Excuse me, by Tower. Bulldogs win the face again. Face-off percentage was high this evening as Roberto and Poole combined to help the Bulldogs dominate possession. 10 seconds left, and that'll just about do it as the Bulldogs will start the season 2-0. Helton runs it out, and that's the final horn. The Bulldogs rush down to Ian Fletcher's end. They're going to congratulate their goalie, give him a little glove tap. Tap hands with the Dover Green Wave and march on to their next game. Any final thoughts, Jay?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of really good things to take away from this game. Coach has got to be happy. Really kind of dominated in all facets. Of course, there are going to be things to work on, but it's game 2. And I just think that energy and that enthusiasm that this team has, that's going to take them just as far as the little, the technical stuff. So I'm really happy with the play here. Coach has got to be happy as well.
Quick scoring recap. We'll just do the top 3 or 4. Derek Kaliza had 4 and 1. James Gaffney with 2 and 1. Brody Helton also with 2 and 1. 1 and 3 for Luke Purnell and 1 and 2 for Bennett Matthews. So they spread it out quite a bit. The Bulldogs come home with a 12-2 victory this evening. For the Green Wave, goals by Logan Carter and Ben Tower, assists by Toby DeRoche and Micah Crick. That allocates their 2 goals and 2 assists. Coach Bordeaux is pleased with the 2-0 start. His defense has only let up 4 goals in those 2 games, and that's really where we saw a lot of the dominance tonight. And he'll look to do that throughout the rest of the season. For Jay Abendroth, I'm Corey Munstertiger for BCTV. We appreciate Andrew Fenn on camera this evening, Grand Poobah Bill Jennings, and we'll bring you baseball action on Monday afternoon as the Bulldogs take on the visiting Bishop Girton Cardinals. That's that. So long for now. We'll see you next time.